guys, we continuing basically what we left as a sketch last time in our previous demo. So to remind you, we were working over those two sketches from really almost from a scratch. I had a couple of pen and paper sketches, really roughly built around the idea I had about this design here. So I'll be looking over those images and finishing probably this one from the batch. At least I'll be focusing over this one for a bit. I'll continue further with it, firstly with establishing the color scheme. So we'll be looking around developing the image firstly with the mood and color. I'll be dropping a couple of tips and tricks around handling black and white images and turning them into color ones. I'll be thinking about the mood and doing a little bit of how to say exploration of the mood and the color for the image. What I have first over my mind is that I want to continue exploring a couple of different lighting scenarios, and one of the scenarios will be something like this scheme here. I want to have cold colors in my foreground and keep the bright light at the end with probably something that goes more into the reds. I want to have two opposite colors and make it a bit dramatic as the values suggest here. I want to stay around something dark and gritty. It somehow reminds me of Star Wars here, so probably I'll move a bit further of keeping something similar to it. I have a couple of references that I'll be going to be using. I'll probably get some textures out of this image here. I'll keep some of the elements and extract them from the 3D block out of the image. And I got two motherboards that I'll probably use for some little bits and bits as details here. I'll be getting some more photos probably into it a bit later on the stage, but I'll probably just find them as I go. So yeah, let's really start messing around with it. I'll just tone down this one a bit, yeah, and try to get a couple of different color schemes. First of all, as I mentioned, I really want to keep my color on two places. I will really emphasize on it here and keep some glimpse here. So what I'm going to do basically is having all my layers and all my selections saved earlier. I'll probably collapse it as it is here and just start experiment with the colors. There is a really cool thing in Photoshop. It's called LUTs. I'm gonna show it to you in a bit. So one thing that I do is really create a couple of different variations of the same image and just color them in a different scenarios and just mix them together. Other thing that I can do is really try to find something over Photoshop that looks for me. So here you can go to the adjustment layers and find color lookup, which is basically a photographic LUTs, which help you to really search different color variations and add a bit of a mood here and there. This one is something that I need here, this bluish. I have some different really presets that are default for Photoshop. It's not that I have brought here, but in any case you can see the variations of those. So moonlight here feels kind of cool. The green is also something that feels interesting for the foreground, but let's get this one here, tone it down maybe, keep the bluish pattern really softly. I'll probably get this one and just colorize it with hue and saturation. As I told you, I want to have some sort of a reddish color. So I'm gonna really mix those together. So you can see the two variation. I'll probably go with something much more dramatic. The blue seems fine. Let's try to mix those here. So I'm just making a glimpse of lighting here, really roughly. I just want to really find something that fits me, and then I'll adjust it. We're just going for the wind here. Something else that I can do actually is I want to keep those reds only in my lights, in my light values. I can really work with the layer style and extract those. Just to have them over the whites. You can see that it's a bit rough still, but I can really fine tune it. So now I can bring my layer up. I'll just delete those parts where I don't want these reds to show up. So now I kind of have something that goes into the pattern that I want. Maybe some reds are getting onto the reflected surfaces of the bridge. So let's get those here also. It's really about getting those this color information inside your file and then start messing around with it. As I constantly repeat, working without really much info in your file, and I mean content, it's a bit hard. So try to put something over your canvas to step on it, to try to develop it. It's a process. Sometimes stuff don't look so cool at the first couple of minutes, hours, let's say, but then when you try to handle it, things start to work all together. So I think I have my first color version here. Let's try to adjust it a bit maybe. You can see now I can really get a couple of different variations with my lighting. But I'm gonna stick definitely to what I have here. I can control the blues and get them into much more nice pattern. Thing here is that now we have like blues here, right blues here, reds here, but I would love to add some grays just to make it a bit more subtle. So I'm making a saturation layer, and over this saturation layer I will work with only with black, so this will basically turn everything gray in the bottom, and I'll just tone it down here and there. After all, this color will be like going not so saturated in the up in the space. Yeah, right. So I'm gonna tone it down a bit. Maybe here we'll have a bit of a gray. So now I want to punch this area here with a bit of color dodge. Just for the okay. I can punch even the front covers a bit. I want this reflection to be a thing here, so you can see we are showing different hues in our foreground just to kill a bit the close colors and the two color palette. So we're introducing more info in our foreground. There is no need really to go into craziness and use all those him in the back. It's really having it closer to the foreground. It will help you to explain that this is happening also there. It is vivid, it is interesting. So okay, that was a nice song. I just wanted to save it for a bit later. Have it on my playlist. Love to paint and listen to some cool stuff. In any case, this starts to get where I want it to be. After putting everything into color, it is normal to adjust it a bit later. It's when changing from black and white to color scheme, you start to see different places that you want to really emphasize with this color. As you can see, I'm having this him here in the background and really using some elements here in the foreground to populate the scene with it. So I have those little stripes here and lights in the foreground and the bright light in the background. Looks some sort of a menacing place really. Let's just have a bit more of a bleak going into the distance. Yeah, maybe I can reuse this color and just drop it here and there. The blue, I mean. Okay, so I think that I have my core key version 1 ready, so I'm gonna move it to my folder here. Okay, and I'm gonna align a couple of other two probably. So I have my version 1. Let's merge it. I don't want to be super cluttered with the layers. So let's try to get into some sort of another version of it. I actually really like this orange tint here. Looks cool. Okay, I'll save this one. Just from playing around with the layers, really. I didn't do much, but I'm gonna save it for later. Now I'm gonna probably use some sort of a different variation in those heme. Let's maybe try to cover it in a different way. Let's cover the whole image up with something interesting. Maybe having the opposite color scheme. Maybe something greenish. Let's try to enhance it with a photo filter maybe. Maybe this greenish would be cool here. So let's choose an opposite color for the second primarily color and lighting. Maybe something yellowish would be cool to be seen here. It will be a nice touch, I think. Maybe something orangey again. Basically repeating the same steps I did for the other concept, for the other color key. Somehow it feels a bit light here. I want to darken it a bit, so maybe I will introduce a secondary color, but let's just fine-tune this a bit. So we're having some sort of reflections here. Let's maybe use a bit of brightness and contrast, a bit of contrast, yeah. Okay, maybe some color balance. But that's kind of cool, yeah. So shadows, green and gritty, maybe a bit of a blue there. Highlights, warm but still menacing, yeah. Feels interesting, I think. Let's use some overlay here, just some more color here and there. Or a bit of a color dodge. this side here I like to be a bit more lit. You can see that I'm not going crazy with the lights. This is around 70% black, so I'm keeping my only whites just for really pushing some areas further. This one went a bit crazy here and dark. Let's retouch it a bit. Okay, black and white seems fine. Core seems okay, so there is another version of where I'll probably go with the colors. So really darken it a bit. Okay, another color version of it, so putting it up next to the other, and I'll just try another color version. So this is version 2. What did I save earlier? I did save this one. Try to mix it actually. It's kind of nice actually. It's a fine mix in between. I would just use it as a base, and I want to keep probably a warm color, or probably a grayish color in the foreground and a cold color in the background. So let me just copy this and colorize it. So maybe something like this. No, probably something bluish would fit better, at least. Yeah, something probably like this. So I'm just gonna get rid of those yellows and just keep the cyans here. Yeah, nice. Okay, feels a bit more peaceful now, right? Even though everything on the bottom is kind of a grayish, it feels like there is actually much color to the painting. Still not so much, but it could be really enhanced. Let's maybe get secondary, some sort of a other tone here. Yeah, this could work. Just gonna disperse it here and there. Not messed up with the mask, did it? working with one color but bringing a bit more tone here and there. Making it a bit more techy. We could have maybe another color for some sort of a detail. Maybe it's and bits greens would help here, something again more techy. Greens and blues here and there, a bit more vivid than the other ones, but I'm gonna adjust them in any case when they sit next to each other. Okay. We have one monochromatic, which is more in the blues, and we have one more warmer tone, and one that feels really menacing. So let's see how we'll turn the colors and the mood a bit better here now than when we have those three. So I will probably want to add a bit more tint here, maybe in the foreground, and catch maybe some of those blues here again to enhance them a bit better. Couple of adjustment layers. And we'll probably have those blues blasting those foreground planes here with some more tint. Also these panels here. Okay, much better, even though we had a bit of a more darkness here and there, so I'll get out this screen layer a bit. This one is kind of nice, I won't even touch it much. Let's just get out some of those. I'll just have a little bit of a variety here and just emphasize over this reflection here. especially this one here. Let's just tone it up and cut out the blacks. Okay, same goes for here. Okay. Could emphasize on the same here. I like how those panels catch up the light. Again, using the layer styles mixture. Okay, so we have 3 different color variations. We have A, B, C here. Really seeing how those work in those 3 situations. I really like this one, to be honest, and I think I'm gonna proceed with building on top of it, but still I love those 2. I really like the greens and the oranges here. Somehow feels toxic, somehow feels menacing. Again, this one it's a bit more peaceful and techy, but I don't know if I want to stay in the monochromatic feel here. I'll just go with this one on the top and work on top with it. But this one is kind of cool too. I can introduce here and there some interesting lights to add some more color. So I'll give it a minute and I'll really think with which one I'll go with. Short break, guys. I'll be coming in a bit to continue with those explorations and really moving up further over building the environment here. I'll also colorize this one just to keep the set all together. So I'll be having this one with the colors of the chosen palette. But still, I'll give it a minute and I'll continue. Cheers.